Atheism falls into the exact same category as religion. And before anybody runs to the comments and says, atheism is not a religion, Thomas, they don't believe in any God, why would you say something like that? But I get all of that. That's not the point. What did I say? I didn't say atheism is a religion. I said it falls into the same category.
So first of all, what category would that be? I noticed that with all your fast-talking monologue, you never actually stated what category atheism and religion supposedly fall under. In fact, instead of expounding on that, you spent the entire video arguing how atheism is just like a religion, which suggests to me that you just wanted to voice a position that you already know is BS, and then weasel your way out of conceding it with the excuse that,
I didn't say atheism is a religion. I said it falls into the same category.
gotta say, opening a video with blatantly bad faith tactics like that, not a good look. But let me help you out, because I will grant you that atheism falls under the same category of protected statuses with regards to religious freedom, but that's just in a legal sense, meaning we have the freedom to reject theistic beliefs, even when they're being illegally endorsed by the government, and to not have them forced upon us by our legislature and curricula. On second thought, we're not exactly equally protected, are we? It's also a protected group with regards to discrimination, but going by the overall message of your video, I'm guessing that's not a good enough association for you.
And atheism doesn't stay as simple as rejecting a deity for very long.
Actually, it does. Atheism has no tenets or doctrines. It has no rituals or dictate shared beliefs, shared values, or a shared worldview. It doesn't imply or infer anything else about what a person believes or what their values are. It simply is just an answer to one question. Do you believe that gods exist?
Because the moment you say there is no God, you still have to answer the very next questions.
No, we don't. We don't have to answer anything. Furthermore, not having answers for other questions does not then justify theism as being a superior position. But I personally live for this kind of thing. So, go ahead.
What's the purpose of anything?
There is no objective purpose to anything.
Like, where did we come from?
Earth. Where else would we come from?
What are humans?
Mammals.
Why does anything matter?
Because we've decided that things matter.
What makes something good or evil?
Good and evil are subjective terms for which even believers don't have agreed upon responses for.
What gives human beings value?
We do.
What's wrong with the world and how can we make it right?
That is a thoroughly complex question for which simple people only want simple answers.
And most atheists do answer these questions. They might appeal to things like nature, science, evolution, reason, progress, autonomy, humans flourishing, or culture or conscience, but they're still answering the very same questions that religion is answering.
And our answers are going to be varied because atheism has nothing to do with any of these topics. You can infer what you like of what someone's value system looks like when they don't believe that non-corporeal cosmic jailers are watching everything that we do. But if you ask 100 atheists these questions, you'll likely get 100 different answers because we don't have shared beliefs by virtue of rejecting God claims. Now, some of us outspoken blowhards on social media do tend to agree on certain topics because many of us also happen to be humanists. Also not a religion. It's more of a philosophy, I guess, which many believers also subscribe to. But make no mistake, atheists are the furthest thing from a monolith, and some have had some wildly daffy takes. For example, some atheists believe that aliens created life. I'm talking about the Raëlians. They are a recognized religion that seriously believes that humanity was created by extraterrestrials through genetic engineering. There is no God in that religion, so they are atheists. But if you ask them those questions about morality and the nature of human beings and the question of intrinsic value, their answers are going to be vastly different from, say, Buddhists, which is another religion without a God. Unlike the Raëlians and the blowhards, Buddhists believe in all kinds of metaphysical things like karma and reincarnation, which directly ties into their belief structure regarding morality. We are all atheists, but that's the only thing we have in common, and it is totally incidental. Because atheism does not fall under the same category as religion. Your problem is that you can't seem to look at anything outside of your God equals morality lens that you have created for yourself, which is ironic since you believe in a God that commands genocide, slavery, rape, human sacrifice, the death penalty for violating arbitrary rules, and just all-around general mayhem for anyone who falls outside of your deity's perceived favorites.
Now, please hear me really clearly when I say this. I'm not anti-science whatsoever. I think science is a wonderful tool that helps us understand the natural world that's around us. But science is not built to answer ultimate questions. I mean, science actually rests on assumptions that it can't prove in a lab.
No, it doesn't. Science is evidence-based. It doesn't operate on assumptions. It operates on empirical evidence that is observable, verifiable, testable, and repeatable. It just also doesn't assign greater abstract meaning to anything. That's left up to individual interpretation. And some of us don't require those interpretations to be spoon-fed to us from on high.
I mean, for example, in order for science to function, you have to believe that truth exists.
Wrong. Science is not about truth. It's about facts. There is a difference. Facts are concrete and indisputable statements of information or the state of something in reality. They exist independently of your beliefs and your perceived worldview. That's why scientific explanations have to be falsifiable. Truth, in this context, is your personal perspective and interpretation of the significance of a fact. That's more in the realm of philosophy. Science doesn't touch that because it's not about the esoteric, mystical purpose of existence that you apparently require from a disembodied brain.
You have to believe that the world is understandable. You have to believe that the pursuit of truth is good, and you have to believe that knowledge is better than ignorance.
No, we don't. You keep going on and on about how we have to have certain beliefs if we reject God claims, but that's just you building straw mans. You're not demonstrating anything. You're just making assertions.
So when somebody takes science and makes that as the final authority for truth,
again, not truth. Science is the process of explaining reality without the taint of human biases.
that's no longer science, that's a worldview. And when evolution becomes a creation story,
Oh, hell. Evolution is not a creation story. It is simply the explanation of how living organisms change over time through natural selection. It is not the beginning. That's called abiogenesis, another process that you clearly don't understand.
when autonomy becomes holiness,
Don't know what that's supposed to mean.
progress becomes salvation, and
Salvation from what?
disagreement becomes heresy,
But most of us in the great debate are here because we enjoy discourse. You using religious terminology to compare humanistic ideas with your cult mentality might have sounded clever in your head, but all I hear is you attempting to pull thinking atheists down to your level. It's almost as though you are admitting that subscribing to a religion is a form of weakness because you require a higher being to do all your thinking for you. That's why you're trying to assign dogma to us. But once again, atheism does not have or even lead to a common belief system. Stop trying to make us into you. I don't want to be you.